Hi guys, this is Paul. This is going to be my first YouTube video. We're going to call this channel the Eject button, and this is the reason why. Guys in the modern day have to navigate the world in a different way than we used to maybe 20 or even 30 years ago and before. I've been a trucker almost 20 years. I was married for a little over 12 years, 2 daughters, and divorced in 2012, and got to find out all about the divorce and family court system here in the United States. Thereafter, I got to find out about how modern dating has changed in the modern landscape, and after that I had several relationships that were short, some long, but all sort of led to the same conclusion. That was just not very good. Through my job, I found my way down to living in border town in South Texas, and eventually in Mexico, which opened my eyes to a whole new world. At that time, I was able to date a foreign woman, and things changed very drastically. You find that in those situations, people have a different culture and more tradition, and a little bit easier to navigate the dating landscape for a man, in my opinion. And from there, I was able to start broadening my horizons to other areas in the Caribbean, South America. Eventually, I'd like to get to Southeast Asia, maybe Eastern Europe. These are all places that many men have discovered that they can maybe find a way, whether it's through economics or dating landscapes, for the modern man. Because unfortunately, I love this country, but things have changed when it comes to modern day dating dynamics with men and women, and it's made it very difficult for us men here. Thanks to Buddy Ronan and Hunk J and fellas in some of the Facebook groups, CGG group for Cartagena from Uncle J, and Ronan the Traveler, Blue Book Passport Cartel. They've convinced me to start making YouTube videos, so here we go. I'm going to try to talk about my experiences and try to help other fellas out there that may still be kind of stuck in that old mindset where they can be vulnerable and taken advantage of, and try to help them avoid some of the pitfalls that maybe I hit the hard way and learn the hard way, and can maybe help them navigate away from, and save them some hard time and some money from being lost in their lives. So first I want to talk about my time down in Mexico. I've got a lot of information when it comes to Mexico, Mexican culture, and dealing with some of the dating loopholes and highs and lows of things down there, some of the benefits, some of the drawbacks of dating down there, as well as cost, price, things like that, for living conditions, how to get around, especially in specifically where I was staying, but it applies to a lot of the different places in Mexico, with various caveats depending on where you're at. Prices can be a little higher, a little lower. Weather can be a little hotter, a little colder. Food can be different, these sorts of things, but a lot of similarities. And what you'll find is, if you start having some experience of going down into Mexico, that later, if you want to travel further into Central or South America, or even the Caribbean, that places like Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, maybe Cuba, you will find a lot of similarities that will help you from your time in Mexico. For fellows that are retired and have complete freedom at this point, you may want to jump the gun right past Mexico, or you might have been to Mexico, um, and shoot straight down, or maybe over to Southeast Asia. That's great. Uh, I want to concentrate on some of the fellows that are more in my group, a little bit younger, maybe 40s, 30s, may still be in the middle of a career, and can't get away that far, maybe not have the funds to get away that far. For those kind of folks, you might want to check out Ronan or Unc J on their channels and get some info on those places. But I figure I can kind of cover my neck of the woods for those fellas that may be located in Texas, New Mexico, California. Me specifically, I am in Texas, so I can speak more on that, but I have been as a truck driver out to California, West Texas, Arizona, lived in Phoenix for 4 years, been out to San Diego, down into Tijuana, Nogales, Mexicali, Juarez, but I just haven't spent as much time out in those places, and I haven't been out there for quite a few years, so my information wouldn't be as up to date as it would be for South Texas, specifically across the border from Laredo, Texas, where I lived for a couple of years. So, having said that, I can really help out, especially in that area for folks that want to head that way. And you can find much cheaper flights down there, or especially drive down if you live around these coastal areas, or I'm sorry, these border town areas that are located along these border cities, right? So you can go and get a taste for a weekend, a few days, whatever, without having to take super long breaks, and without spending a whole lot of money if you're on a really tight budget crunch. So there's that to consider as well. So hopefully I can give some information on that kind of stuff, because my point would be, and where I'm at, is to use Mexico as a stepping stone, get your feet wet, get the taste going for what's available out there. And this is what I'm doing. And I'm planning my retirement for 15 years from now, where what I'm calling this YouTube channel is the eject button. I'm hitting the eject button. And my plan as of right now is to probably get out to Southeast Asia eventually, but I would encourage everyone, start with Mexico if you can, hit the Caribbean. When you can get those week vacations in your 30s, maybe early 40s, and when you can get down to South America and Central America, when you start getting 2-week vacations, and some of you can hit with one, depending on where you're located, 1 week, but definitely 2, and start over those years and years that come by while you're waiting to retire. If you can't get out beforehand, hit these different places, because you might find that you want to retire to Panama, you want to retire to Mexico, you want to retire to Colombia, you want to retire to Dominican Republic. All of them are fine. Everyone's different. But the point is, what all of them have in common is a much better chance of finding a family life, if that's what you want, with a good woman who will treat you well, maybe even future children, if that's what you're looking for. But definitely a very affordable cost of living, an affordable way to retire, and communities that are just a lot different than the modern communities that we're dealing with here in the United States. And so that's kind of the point of the channel, and kind of where I want to take it, and just give my little neck of the woods, from my point of view, to help out the groups and the live chats when it comes to the other fellas in the groups. Okay, so hopefully you guys will follow my channel. I'll post links when I'm in the live chats, and any help that I can give. I'm also active in the groups as well. You guys just holler at me, okay? And I'll talk to y'all later.